Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Cosy Corner, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce Kevin Barry Carberry and Conor Lane, cousins and members of the famous Carberry family from Derrahaun near Keena in County Longford. You're very welcome, lads. If I could begin with you, Conor. Conor, I remember you, a young lad. I heard you many times down playing in the pier in Newtown Cashel. I haven't seen you for a long time.
I used to play a lot in school and joined into the army then, and I've been busy with that ever since, really.
And where are you based now?
I'm based in Athlone, in Custom Barracks.
Right. And where do you go for sessions now?
We used to go to sessions to the pier, and I'd be down in Limerick a good bit now, so I was in a session recently down in Dolan's there, and we were in Strokestown at one point, the Hayloft Bar, is it? We were in there as well, yeah. So anywhere really we can get a chance to go, like I'd usually go to, like.
Yeah. Well, Conor, you come from a very famous family that's steeped in traditional music. So where do you fit into that family?
I don't know, the flute player, I suppose, like, really. The only one out with them.
You're the only flute player
I think so, yeah. I can't think of any other ones that do, anyway.
Right, and who taught you?
Well, I started playing when I was young enough in primary school. We started off there, and I kind of had a bit of a knack for it. Well, my parents were eager to push me into it anyway with the family background and that. But
Yes.
I ended up going to Noel Sweeney in Longford for a couple of
Noel.
years, and he taught me for a good while. And then I ended up buying a flute, and I went to kind of my own way then, started playing on my own. And I got a few lessons off Jerry Bohan. His wife used to teach me in school, Kate Bohan.
Yes.
He taught me for a little while, and that was kind of it. I went my own way then after that.
Yes, because I noticed that you have a very distinct style that's very much your own.
Very mixed bag one, all right, I'd say.
Yes. And so you have another set of tunes for me.
We do, yeah.
What are they?
Straight into them. They are the Mouse in the Mug, the Mist Covered Mountain, and the Rose and the Heather. One, two, three.
I have Frank Tighe here with me now from Street in County Westmeath. Frank, you're very welcome to the Cosy Corner.
Thanks very much, Anna.
What are you going to play for me tonight?
I'm going to play a couple of jigs. The first one's composed by Richie Dwyer and the second one is a Paddy O'Brien tune.
And tonight you're accompanied by Paddy Farrell. Before the break, we heard Frank Tighe, and now it gives me great pleasure to talk to his grandfather, Bernie Tighe. Bernie, you're very welcome to the Cosy Corner.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you.
Bernie, you grew up in Street.
I did indeed.
And
yeah.
How did you come to play the box?
Well, lads going down, but there used to be an awful lot of house dances and that time, you know. And there'd be accordion players coming in and out of the house, and every chance I got, I'd have the accordion down, just rattling it around to see.
Right.
So eventually, there was a chap by the name of Frankie Tighe. Poor old Frankie passed away. And it was him that showed me a few notes on it, you know.
Right, yes.
And that's how it really all started. And then there was an old man up in a place called the Russell Road. Tommy Murray was his name. The man has passed away since too. And he had a lovely little small Horner accordion.
Right.
a single row. And I was mad about this accordion, and every evening I come home from school, I'd go up and get a tune on the accordion. So he says to me this evening, he says, "No, Bernie," he says, "as soon as you can play a tune on that accordion," he says, "it's yours."
Right.
And sure, Lord blesses it was, I was delighted. You know, I couldn't get home quick enough and back quick enough. And so finally I learned the Rose of Ardenmore. That'll tell you know how long ago it was.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
And I learned it anyway, and I went up one evening and I played it for him. And the next thing he parcelled up this accordion into this cardboard box
Right.
and had it all done round lovely with nice ribbons and all. Oh, sure, I went down the road with this under my arm. It was like winning the lotto, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And sure, I was delighted. So it all started from there then.
That's a lovely story.
Yeah.
And was there much music around the street in those years?
There would have been. There was a good bit of music around it, yeah. Sure, all my cousins there, all the Tighes, Paddy's family, they were all great musicians.
Right.
Sure, poor old Patricia, Lord of mercy on her, she died a young girl. And Willie Banjo, we used to call him,
Right.
he died as well. Do you know, and they were brilliant musicians, but we still have Martin Tighe, the banjo player.
Right,
And he's fantastic,
Right.
you know.
So there was just a huge wealth of musician for a
There
young
was.
child with this.
There was, really and
with
truly
this
there was. And
new-
then Paddy himself, he used to get us all into the station house in the evenings, and he'd have the bow, the fiddle, and if you made a mistake, he'd get a tap on the back to remind you,
Right.
you know. But he was great now. He used to bring us all in there in the evenings and he'd learn us a few tunes and, you know, he'd keep you at it, like.
Right.
You know, it was lovely. There was always plenty of music there, always and ever. You know. But Paddy's family was really talented. Ita, now, you probably know Ita Tighe.
Yes.
She'd be another one of them. She'd be a cousin of mine as well.
Right.
You know. So
So you kept the tradition of Irish music alive over
we
around
did.
the street.
We did. We had a good hand in it anyway, like, you know.
Yes. And
So
then you were part of a band for a number of years.
I was indeed. I played with the Country Four, we used to call ourselves. Jimmy, Johnny, Stephen, and Martin Tighe was part of it then as well.
Right.
And another chap that used to play with him, Lord of mercy on him too, Seamus Hagan. Seamus got into bad form, and then I took over from Seamus.
Right.
We were together. We must have been together for about definitely over 20 years. You know,
Playing all over Westmeath.
playing all over Westmeath and playing all over Longford, and we used to travel around. You know, wherever
Right.
it'd be.
And you knew the great Patsy Farrell. Patsy,
indeed, the
of
poor
course.
old Patsy. Yeah, I played with Patsy for about 4 or 5 years. Great character, great man.
Yes.
There's no doubt at all about it. Yeah, I played with Patsy for about 4 or 5 years, and like that too, we played all over the place. Ballyjem stuff, Galway. Patsy was a great man for travelling.
Right.
He liked to get away. He didn't like playing too much local, like, you know.
Yes.
But sure, he was brilliant. Patsy wrote an awful lot of songs there.
That's right.
You know, he wrote the Road Tabber Stroll, the Three Counties Meet.
These were. These
few
were.
more.
Sorry.
He has some lovely songs, like. So
These were all big hits for Brendan Shine.
There were, yeah. Brendan Shine, I think Foster and Alan might have had a hit with one of them as well.
Yes.
You know. So he was a very talented man now, Patsy.
Yes.
So he was, and the crowd used to love him in the pubs that time. He'd be telling the old yarns, like, you know, and having the crack with them, and they loved him now, you know.
Well, Bernie, it's just a great pleasure to have you here with us this evening, keeping the tradition alive.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Anna, thank you.
What are you going to sing for me?
I'm going to sing an oldish song. It's called The Galway Shawl.
Okay, in your own time, Bernie.
Thank you very much. Thank you. No. Annie out and more in the county Galway, one pleasant evening in the months of May, I spied a damsel. She was young and handsome, and her beauty near took my breath away. As she wore no jewels nor costly diamonds, diamonds, nor pence, nor powder, Asher none at all. But she wore a bonnet with the ribbons on it, and around her shoulder on the Galway shawl. As she kept on walking, oh, she kept on talking, till her old man's caught it came into view. Oh, she said, come in, sir, and meet me father, and she played to please him down foggy June. While I played the blackboard and the stake of barley, how the Rodney's glory and how foggy June. And she sang each note now like an Irish linnet, till the tears came down from her eyes of blue. It was early, all in the morning, sure we hit the long road to old Donegal. And she said goodbye, sir. Oh, she cried and kissed me, and sure all I could think of was the Galway shawl. As she wore no jewels, nor costly diamonds, nor pence, nor powder, Asher none at all. But she wore a bonnet with the ribbons on it, and around her shoulder on the Galway shawl, and around her shoulder on the Galway shawl.
We've been listening there to Bernie Tighe from Street. Kevin Barry, you are a grandson of Peter Carberry, the famous piper.
That's right, Peter Carberry from Derrahon. He was well-known piper throughout Ireland and the United States. He travelled. He even played in the desert in Libya, I believe, for Colonel Gaddafi at one stage on tour with Kyotis. I don't know what year now exactly, but yeah, he was a well-known piper and a well-respected piper, a well-respected musician. I think the first time he ever heard the pipes was at Pearse Park in Longford at a football game. He was brought by his father to a match and he heard, I think it was the piper Dolan playing outside Pearse Park, and he says, that's what I want to do. So that's what he done. And he kept at it for years and taught myself and my Uncle Noel as well.
So he taught you. What was it like, learning from a great man like that?
Well, growing up, I had a serious interest in it, a very big interest in it. Like, it was always around me for a start, but I had the interest there. I wasn't pushed into it, and I loved it, because I was listening to Noel, my uncle, as well, and Grandad every day. He lived at one end of Derrahon, we were down the far end. Derrahon was like a horseshoe, and we were 22, they were number 1, but you could hear the pipes every day, so I loved it from a young age, and it was great, learning from the best, as the fella says.
It's a very difficult instrument and very temperamental.
It is, like myself. Yeah, it wouldn't be the easiest of instruments, but I had a big interest in them as a young age, but I started kind of on the whistle, and my parents bought me my first set of pipes off my cousin Dermot, who was also a piper. He'd be grandson of Peter as well, and made me way from there. But yeah, lots of mistakes along the way, but keep at them, as the fella says, and keep it up.
I know that the Carberrys are world famous as pipers, but apart from yourselves, I don't think there is much of a piping tradition at present in Longford.
There's not a huge number of pipers in County Longford now. There's a man, John Scally, who is also a great lover of Grandad's music and who learned the pipes through himself, through listening to Grandad and Uncle Noel as well. So it's myself, there's Pat Finnerty. There's not a lot of pipers now, you're right there, but there's enough to keep us going for a while. Hopefully more to come down the years.
Well, I suppose you're keeping the candle burning, you're keeping the fire burning, you're keeping the light flame. Do you teach?
I don't. Not yet, anyway. Hopefully someday.
Okay, you have another set of tunes for me.
We have another set of tunes. What are we going to play this time, Conor?
The Man of the House and Craig's Pipes.
The Man of the House and Craig's Pipes, 2 reels.
That's wonderful. You'd know that you had grown up playing together. Conor, I've had many a conversation with you and you're really passionate about Irish music, but in particular you're passionate about the Irish music from Longford.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'm mad into it now. No.
And I know from talking to you that you feel that, you know, the music, the Irish music in Longford is kind of underrated.
Yeah, I think it's very underrated. You have some fabulous musicians in around the Midlands and that, and it's you know, some people might call it a divide compared to, you know, you have your Donegal styles and your South, you know, Limerick, Kerry styles of playing, and some people would consider it divide, but I call it the hidden talent of the country, like, because we're very we're overshot, like they never really come here much, but there's great musicians, like you have the likes of Noel Sweeney, you have like all of the relatives that we grew up with. There's loads of players and fabulous musicians amongst it.
Yes.
Bog music, yeah, that's right.
And we've been meeting them now for a number of weeks on the Cosy Corner, and it has been just a pure joy bringing the music of the Midlands to life. So sadly, Kevin Barry and Conor, this brings us to the close of this week's episode of the Cosy Corner. To those of you who have been watching at home, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you can join us next week for another episode of the Cosy Corner. Conor, you're going to play us out now with the...
Yeah, we're going to play the Creela Turf and Colonel McBain, a jig and a reel.
Okay.